Teachers earn money from the young world. It was eaten in the underworld. My grandfather did this all his life, but he refused to pass on this craft. He often said that it is hard to do this business. He has been cautious all his life. I never thought I would be old or lost a grandchild. My hometown is located in the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River. There are many reservoirs and lakes. There are not a few people who drown every year, especially in the summer. The old man is always too busy to keep his feet on the ground. It can be said that for my family, the corpse fishing industry is an iron rice bowl. The old man relied on this craft, sent me and my brother to college. But when you get old, it's not time to retire yet. My brother had an accident. When I rush home, the old man has finished wiping my brother's body. I changed into a shroud. He stood next to the coffin, on crutches, sorting through the folds on my brother's clothes, the hearty man who has always been babbling. At this time, he was lying in the coffin, with a pale face. I stood numb on my hands and feet for a long time. Tears still flowed down, after holding back all the way. What the hell is going on? I asked Grandpa. But the old man didn't know anything about it, since sending me to school the other day. My brother has always been secretive. Go out early and return late all day. No one knows whereabouts. Until this morning, a call came from the next village, said someone jumped into the river. Because the body was never found, so asked the old man to help. But I didn't expect it. The old man went to the scene and didn't do it yet. The corpse floated on its own. The old man recognized my brother at a glance. My voice was shaking when I called. Until this time, I think it's unreal. Good and decent people. Why did you suddenly commit suicide by jumping into the river? Late at night, the neighbor who came to help left. The old man was hit so hard. Busy before and after. Tossed all day. I told him to hurry to rest. I stayed in the morning hall. I repeatedly looked at the surveillance video of my brother jumping into the river. I've rummaged through my brother's relics. Not even the browser and chat history were spared. But no clues have been found. Is it really suicide? Even I was a little confused at this moment. I leaned back in my chair and looked at my brother's portrait. In the photo, he is clearly smiling. But his eyes were extremely empty. I don't know when. A mist began to fill the room. The ever-bright lantern on the altar was in a trance. It seems to be extinguished at any moment. I hurriedly bent down to protect the flames. The ever-bright light flickered a few times, and then returned to normal. I breathed a sigh of relief. When standing up, out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of one of my brother's reflections. In addition to me, there was also a black figure. He was standing silently behind me. I felt like my heart was missing a second. Hair standing on end. Turned around abruptly. But I didn't see anything. Dazzled, I muttered to myself. But soon, I was slapped in the face. At the door, there was a puddle of water at some point. From time to time, there are circles of ripples on the water trails. It was as if water was dripping down. It's like a soaking wet person. He was standing there, silently. I was struck like lightning. Standing still. He didn't dare to move. Brother, is it? I asked, my voice trembling. There was a dead silence in the morning hall. There was no response. I walked over with courage. When he was about to enter the water, he trembled and stretched out his hand. But I didn't touch anything. Look down. That puddle of water. At some point, a clear footprint appeared next to it. All the way to another room. That's the kitchen. I hurriedly followed. The kitchen didn't turn on the lights. I turned on my phone's flash and fumbled with the switch. In a trance, a small creaking sound was heard in the left corner. I swallowed, dared to poke out his phone and take a picture of it. There used to be a pig in the corner. It's the butcher white next door. The day just arrived. Prepare for the use of seats. At this time, there was a figure wearing a black shroud, lying on top of the pig and feasting. The sound of fat and flesh being torn apart. I was terrified to hear it, but I still tiptoed and leaned over slowly. I have to be sure of one thing. Brother, I shouted softly. The figure paused, turned around, slowly. The flashlight hit him in the face. It only made my nose sour for a moment. It's really his brother. I couldn't help but shout, but my brother didn't answer me. He was soaked. He was still chewing flesh in his mouth. His pale face was dripping with blood, mixed with water droplets. Slowly slide down. A pair of black and white eyes stared straight at me. It's like looking at your prey. A hoarse voice of fresh meat squeezed out of his throat. He grinned at me. Good brother, give me your meat to taste. With that, he pounced. I was so frightened that I retreated. But behind me is the wall. I didn't have to run far before my brother caught up. He grabbed my neck with both hands. I struggled to break his hand, but the hand passed through his body. A strong feeling of suffocation came to mind. My eyes were black. Consciousness is also gradually blurred. That's when it happened. There was a burning sensation in my chest. My brother screamed. Then I fell to the ground with my neck loose. He coughed uncomfortably. Open your eyes again. My brother is gone. There was a loud bang in the hall. I hurried over. But I saw the bench where my brother's coffin was parked. It's like I can't bear the weight of a coffin. The chi brush is broken off from the middle. The coffin has also fallen to the ground. A biting cold wind, blowing without warning, blew all the statues of the offering candles to the ground. Dog's breakfast, a dull knocking sound, came from inside the coffin. Each one was like a hammer striking hard. My heart trembled. With a bang, the coffin board was completely lifted. A pair of bloody hands sticking out of the coffin. Bisons and stubble is exposed. It's like you've been eaten. It's like beating a coffin. As a result, I was completely stunned. I can only freeze in place, watch my brother's body crawl out of the coffin. He craned his head and sniffed in the air, like a beast that has been hungry for a long time. It is looking for its own prey. Eventually, he set his sights on me. The next second, he screamed and pounced, ducked out of my way, and a neutral voice came from behind me. Then, I pushed it away. It's the old man. At this time, he is in hand. He was holding a whip strung together with copper coins and red ropes. He whipped my brother. It was like a balloon had been punctured. There was a pop sound. At the same time, the red rope at the very front of the whip. It's like it's been corroded, blackening and breaking. More than a dozen copper coins were spilled on the ground. Jingle, sounds. The old man whipped a dozen lashes in a row. My brother stepped back. The upper and lower skins of the body are open. Can only roar incompetently. But the whip in the old man's hand has become shorter and shorter. In the end, only the palm was left. Come on. The old man smashed the last piece in my brother's face. He turned around and pulled me out. But my brother reacted faster. He chased after him in 3 or 2 steps. A kick knocked me to the ground. Even the old man who dragged me away was also taken along. Before I could get up, my brother followed and stomped on my back. Hold me down. The old man tried to pull me up, but he was pulled by my brother, through his hand, and through the old man, to all sides. I am afraid that the elderly will be thrown out of the way. I was in a hurry at the time. Hands and feet exert force at the same time. Push my brother's legs open with his back up. Then take advantage of this gap to flip. Wrap your arms around him and roll to the side. My brother was thrown out by me. More than 100 pounds of weight were smashed on the offering table. This mourning hall is completely abandoned. I want to get up and help the old man, but my brother had already pounced on me again. Grab me by the collar. Open your mouth and gnaw on your neck. That's when it happened. The old man crawled over, caught his arm between my brother and me. I was pinned down and couldn't look up, but I could hear the old man snorting. Follow. A stream of blood ran down my hair, blurred my vision. Grandpa! I shouted. The old man did not answer me. He punched my brother in the head with his other hand. But my brother still bites and doesn't let go. In desperation, the old man gritted his teeth and stood up, kicked on my brother. I felt a lightness on my body. He stood up with a roll. That's when I found out. On the old man's arm, a large piece of flesh was torn off alive. My brother chewed the meat and swallowed it in twos. The smell of blood seemed to inspire his ferocity, makes his eyes red, becoming crazier. But this time, the old man was prepared. When my brother pounces, the old man, from the back of the waist, take out 2 steel needles, the thickness of your little finger. While bending down to dodge my brother's attack, turned around and stabbed in the crook of my brother's knee. In the next second, my brother lost the support of his legs, fall to the ground. The old man strikes while the iron is hot. Hold my brother's back with my knees. Don't let him get up. 2 steel needles are then inserted from the shoulder blades on both sides. Twist it. Slide. My brother also lost control of his hands. But, even so, he was still writhing and twisting. A pair of eyes fixed on me. A creepy sneer came out of his mouth. The old man let go of the steel needle, grabbed my brother by the hair, pull his head back. Take out your jade pendant. The old man's urging made me react. I hurriedly took out an emerald green jade pendant from my arms. Just now, in the kitchen, when my brother pinched my neck. He was the one who protected me. Press on your brother's eyebrows, Grandpa said loudly. It's like sensing danger. My brother put away his smile, began to struggle like crazy. At the moment when Yu Pei and my brother came into contact, my brother screamed in pain. His muscles bulged all over his body. Bursts of water burst out of his mouth. Black smoke with a rich foul odor. I am the first to bear the brunt. I almost didn't faint. Don't let go. The old man shouted with a red face. I gritted my teeth. A hand reached into the back of my brother's head. The other hand is pressed forward with all the strength of the body. I don't know how long it took, until the old man patted me on the shoulder. I just came to my senses. Let go of my hand. My brother is no longer moving. He lay quietly on the ground. Eyes widened. A hideous face on the forehead. It was also burned out of a circular dragon mark. I closed my brother's eyes. I sat on the ground for a long time with him in my arms. The old man shuddered and took out a cigarette from his arms. It took a few cigarettes before stopping. From small to large. Me and my brother. They all liked to listen to the old man talk about his previous experiences. But I didn't expect to meet it now. He and I actually became the protagonists of the story. I bandaged the wound with the old man. Together, they carried my brother into the coffin. Look at the dilapidated morning hall. The old man sighed sadly. I am going to contact the white shop. Before dawn, we have to rebuild the morning hall. The old man made a few phone calls and was about to go out. I wanted to go along, but the old man waved his hand and refused. You are right here. Don't wander around. Stay with your brother. He patted me on the shoulder. Hurried into the night. I found a corner against the wall and sat down. The back is against the wall. The cold touch relieved the pain on my body. Maybe it's too tired from just tossing. I fell asleep, unconsciously. In my dream, I saw my brother again. He stood outside the threshold, still looking wet. I was standing inside the house, across the threshold, and facing him. He opened his mouth to speak, but I didn't hear a sound. Suddenly, ripples rippled like the surface of the water beneath his feet. Countless black threads spread from under his feet. Wrap him up in the blink of an eye. Then, he was put to sink quickly. I reached out to grab him, but only for a moment. It's 108,000 miles away from me. 11th hour. He kept pointing to his chest. Then it was completely swallowed up by darkness. I woke up. Suddenly. Only then did I find myself in a cold sweat. The jade pendant on his chest was still hot. It means that there is something close to the one just now. Is that you? I whispered. It's like asking him. It's like asking myself. What do you want to tell me? But the morning hall was empty. No one can answer me. More than half an hour later. The old man is back. He was followed by a large group of people. I brought a lot of big bags and small bags. The group glanced at the morning hall. No curiosity. Didn't ask. Instead, it was silently rearranged. And the old man also followed to help. Finally, it was just before dawn. The morning hall was rearranged. The old man said that there would not be too many people to mourn at this time. Let me take a break first. I was really sleepy. I was about to go back to my room to rest. But suddenly, I heard a commotion outside. Go out and have a look. A group of people are coming towards my house in a menacing manner. I chuckled inwardly, hurriedly, retreated to the morning hall. The old man asked what was wrong. I am afraid someone is going to come looking for trouble. I whispered. Pull out a stick from the corner. The old man was startled. Hurriedly held me down. Don't be impulsive just yet. That's it for a moment. The group had already run to the door. A yellow-haired man who rushed to the front steps into the door with a big hand. A wave. Shouted brothers. Smashed it for me. A few people followed him. Similar in style. The head is full of flowers. Atoms. I thought I had met a gourd baby. They screamed and rushed through the door. Without saying a word, he began to smash around. Seeing that the morning hall that had just been built was destroyed again. I had red eyes. Break the old man's hand and rush forward. Kick the yellow hair in front of him over. Then they carried wooden sticks and knocked them one by one. A few stray hairs were beaten and screamed. Two of them sneaked up on me from behind. One left and one right grabbed me. The other took the opportunity to take the stick from my hand. I was held down by the three of them. I can only watch them wreak havoc. The yellow hair who gave the order at the beginning. From the sleeves, take out a watermelon knife, 30 or 40 centimeters long. Put the knife around my neck. His eyes were full of sarcasm. Stupid things. You try it again, seeing me being held hostage. The old man didn't dare to act rashly. But the crowd was getting more and more excessive, already ready to overturn my brother's coffin. The old man stepped forward to pull them away. A green-haired man turned around and punched the old man in the face. 60 or 70-year-olds, caught off guard. At that time, my head was confused, fell to the ground. I don't care about you. I was furious. A hot head. It doesn't matter if the knife is still on the neck. Kick the right hairy toe. Zimao screamed. Hurriedly let go. The white hair on the left hasn't reacted yet. I've punched it. He also screamed. Hurriedly let go and covered his eyes. Hongmao was taken aback by me. His hand with the knife began to tremble. As you retreat, you shout that you are crazy. I caught up with it in 3 or 2 steps, grab his wrist and let go. Yellow hair is not loose. I jerked him into my arms. At the same time, a head hammer hit it. He was dizzy from my hit. Immediately let go of his hand and snatched it. I turned my head to look at the knife. The group was already around the coffin and began to shout. If I rush hard, it's a knife. Cut on the shoulder of the pink fur, closest to me. He screamed, fell to the ground with his shoulders clutched. Hey! Here is no blood. I was stunned for a moment. Raise your knife and take a look. Didn't even open the blade. Purely a big piece of iron. Most of them are used to scare people. I had no worries at all. Raise your knife and slash at their thick, skinned areas. That group of people was cut by me and cried dad and called mother. While running, he shouted that he had killed someone. The others hadn't seen their injuries clearly. I was already frightened by my fierce appearance. Crawling and running out the door, the group came with a lot of momentum. Make no secret of your purpose. All the way, many people in the village heard the movement. A badly dressed person. It soon became known that someone was looking for something. It's all from one village. Many people are related to each other. Naturally, we will not watch us being bullied by outsiders. I rushed over with a dung scoop. It just happened to collide with this bunch of stray hairs. The group received a few sticks and ran back in a panic. But by this time, I had chased after me with a knife. They have no way back. At first, the yellow hair pounced on his knees. Slam koto to me. Big brother. I was wrong. The others also knelt on the ground. Tears fell. Seeing this, I slowly calmed down. Ask why you are here to make trouble. A few gourd babies. You look at me. I look at you. Finally, I set my eyes on the yellow hair. The guy dodged his eyes. Fragmented. I can't tell you why for a long time. I am running out of patience. Put the knife directly around his neck. Say no. Don't say it. Hack you. I was so scared that I trembled. I held my neck for a long time. Still didn't pop a fart. Something that doesn't fight. Then, a middle-aged woman pushed through the crowd and squeezed in. She glared at the group of gourd babies viciously. He turned his head to look at the watermelon knife in my hand. Suddenly sat on the ground. I howled heartbreakingly. Yo, my poor daughter. You are dying so miserably. Let the old woman do it in the future. What nonsense are you talking about? I yelled. The woman was screaming with her eyes closed. Not a single tear fell from her. But the voice is loud. The folks in the surrounding countryside heard this kind of gossip. Immediately exploded the pot. The scene was chaotic. It makes my head explode. That's it, for a moment. My brother has at least 7 or 8 rumors hatched. You howl again. I pointed a knife at the middle-aged woman with red eyes. The woman jumped straight up. Tilt your head and stick it against the edge of my knife. If you cut down what you have a seed, you will kill me. Anyway, my daughter is gone. The old man has no hope in the future. You hack me to death. I happen to be my daughter's companion. At this time, the old man had come to his senses. Hurriedly, ran out to play the round. He patted me on the back, soothed me, and slowly put down the knife. Said to the woman, seriously. Big sister, we can't talk nonsense. My grandson has just passed away. We can't ruin the reputation of the dead. I puffed the middle-aged woman, spitting, pointing at the old man's nose and scolding. Your grandson wants fame. My daughter doesn't want it. Your little bastard. There is not even half of the eldest son. I also want to elope with my daughter. The little mongrel, gossip, coaxed my daughter, sneaked out in the middle of the night. As a result, it fell into the reservoir. Your little bastard is good. Slap your ass and run. Poor my daughter didn't even have a chance to ask for help. That's it. The middle. This woman is a little bastard. Listening to it, my heart is on fire. I was about to scold him. The old man tugged my arm, signaled me not to stir up conflicts. His face was not very good, but in the end, give me a sink. I have to be angry, big girl. We have to talk about evidence in everything. But this sentence played right into the woman's arms. He didn't wait for the old man to finish. He pulled out a whole bunch of things from his pocket, very proud. Who said, I have no evidence? He slapped the papers in front of me. There is a family register. Have an ID card. There was even a marriage certificate for my brother and a girl. He pulled out his phone. Point your phone screen at the blind date. Shout out loud and let everyone see. Give my home a review. The head of our village stepped forward, took the phone from the woman's hand. I watched it for a long time. I carefully compared the photos on the documents. Finally, he handed us the phone in silence. I took it and looked at it. It's a surveillance video. Inside, my brother is pulling a girl, run from the trail to the edge of the reservoir. The two of them looked behind them from time to time in a panic. It's like something is chasing them. Maybe it's too dark. Didn't pay attention to the step. My brother, suddenly, tilted, fell into the water with the girl. My brother and I followed the old man into the water all year round. The water nature is good, but the girl didn't know much about water. The two of them splashed in the water for half a day. My brother tried to pull the girl to the shore several times, but all failed. In the end, the two ran out of energy. Both sank into the water. The video is still playing. After a while, my brother reappeared on the water. He spat a few sips. Eventually, he staggered ashore, disappeared from the frame. This is the end of the video. I opened my mouth several times and couldn't speak. I think back to a few days ago, when my brother dropped me off at the station. Zangshen mysteriously said to me that I would wait for you to come back on National Day. I'll take you to meet your sister. But from small to large, my brother and I are both maternal single. So I certainly don't believe him when he says that. Just if he was joking. Didn't care. Could it be that what he said is true? I muttered. Of course, it's true. The woman snatched it back from me. The phone is your little bastard who killed my daughter. We're not done with this. No, I said with a frown. My brother has gone ashore. How could you suddenly throw yourself into the river at the head of the next village? Shouldn't you call the police to find someone in the first place? Something must have happened in between. I am going to call the police. Hug it. The woman sneered. Who knows if that little mongrel was suddenly discovered by conscience. I am going to bury my daughter. Even if this matter is reported to Beijing, I will be justified. My daughters are still under the water. Why can your brother be buried? I am telling you, as long as he is still sinking underneath the water. For a second, I am going to disturb your family. So what do you want? The old man asked. The woman glanced at the old man. I heard that you are a corpse digger. That's right. Then, I'll take care of you getting my daughter up. Yes. The old man nodded. This is not an overstatement. The woman was also very pleased with our reaction. His eyes rolled. He also said that I still have 1 million. Everyone hears the number. They all gasped, incredibly, plucked out his ears. I immediately refused. It is impossible for my family for so many years. Although he relied on the old man's craftsmanship to eat and drink, he didn't have to worry about it. But there is no deposit at all. You are blackmailing. The village chief stomped his feet angrily. He blew his beard and glared. I held back this sentence for a long time. What is blackmail? This sentence seems to poke at the woman's sore spot. He retorted that my son should not have money to get married. In the future, do you need money for retirement? I have raised a girl for more than 20 years. Isn't it worth the number? The old man was also trembling with anger. But he still said calmly, 200,000 impossible. Woman jumping on the road. Minimum 500,000. Only 200,000. The old man said. I am in charge of getting the girl up. If you don't agree, we'll report to the official. Everything is done according to the law. The woman's eyes rolled for a long time. In the end, I still bite. Teeth can. But you have to play money now. The good old man agreed very happily. He asked the villagers to help testify. Our family is very popular in the village. None of them refused. Eventually, the village chief became a witness. We wrote notes to each other. I pressed my handprint. The old man took out all the savings over the years. I only saved some money by working part-time. In the end, I borrowed some from the blind dates. I finally got enough money. As soon as the money arrives, the yellow hair that was still cowering behind the woman just now, immediately refreshed. pulled a group of gourd babies, and ran away laughing. The woman wanted to run too, but I reached out and stopped me. What do you want? The woman said worrily. Give me everything you have about my brother. And the girl's birthday, the old man added. The woman breathed a sigh of relief. 10 minutes later, I got that surveillance on my phone. Attached are a couple of photos of my brother and the girl. They did seem very affectionate, but judging by the time on the photo, my brother and this girl have been talking for years. He never talked to us. Anything about this girl. I wanted to ask the woman again, but she seems to be afraid that we will repent. In the blink of an eye, he ran away. There is no mother-daughter relationship just now. I am afraid that someone will make trouble next. I didn't dare to rest all the time. In the morning hall hard roof until the afternoon. The village chief couldn't stand it anymore. Let me and the old man hurry to rest. During the day, I don't see if anything will happen here. You've got a lot to do at night. I was really sleepy. Slept into the night. In a daze. The old man has already prepared a large bag of things. The village chief asked his son to help send us there. I found out when I got to the place. This reservoir is surprisingly large. You can't see the edge. I couldn't help but ask the old man if he could catch it. Try it. Old man, untie the cloth. The bag places yellow paper, ink, brushes and other things one by one. Then cut a piece of yellow paper into the shape of a paper figure. Write the girl's birth date on it. Finally, put it on a paper boat with red string attached. In this way, the location of the deceased can be quickly located. But the premise is to know the 8 characters of the deceased. If not, then you need the cooperation of the Yin Blood Bronze Mirror Charm. I didn't understand how it worked. Ask the old man. He never smiled and didn't say anything. The old man held a red rope in his hand. Wait, quietly. Take advantage of this time. I inflated the kayak. Sitting on the boat waiting for the old man's news. The boat swayed around the water several times. It's like discerning the direction. Then it slowly floated into the depths of the reservoir. The old man said softly. I hurriedly slid the oars. Quietly followed. There is no moonshine tonight. The surface of the water was hazy. In addition to the paddling across the water, there was not a single sound. The paper boat is still advancing. I watched as the old man's face gradually became solemn. The red thread in his hand left the water at some point. Straightened. It was as if something was pulling the paper boat on the other end. Guide us to the past. This feeling of sailing to an unknown destination. It scared me inside. I didn't dare look directly at the water. I am afraid of being in it. Hidden is a terrifying monster that chooses to devour people. This torment lasted for a long time. Eventually, the red rope gradually relaxed. I looked up. I don't know when. We have come to the center of the reservoir. Paper boats float silently on the water. Motionless. I picked it up, by God. Discover the paper figure above. I don't know when it's gone. A cool breeze blows from the water. I felt a chill down my spine. Turn your head and look. The man was lying on my shoulder at some point. Obviously, there was nothing on the face of the paper man. But I could feel him watching me. I was so scared that I almost jumped up. Throw away the paper boats, flapping indiscriminately on the shoulder. The old man was also taken aback by me. What's wrong with that paper man? I am halfway there. But I saw the paper man lying honestly on the paper boat, dazzled. I rubbed my eyes. Okay, ready to go to the net. The old man patted me on the shoulder. Fishing nets into the water. The first time I got nothing. The old man was not surprised. He adjusts the angle. The second net enters the water. But in the end, only a few broken pieces of wood were fished up. It shouldn't be. The old man frowned. Suddenly, I reached out and scooped up a little water and tasted it. The next second, he spat out the water with an ugly face. I also scooped up a little water and tasted it. But there is no entrance yet. I smelled a very peculiar fishy smell. What the hell is this? I'm a little nauseous. I don't even feel like my hands are clean anymore. The old man had a gloomy face and did not speak. He pulled out a bottle of blood water from his bosom. Half of it is sprinkled on the net. Half sprinkled in the water. Then the words began to come out of his mouth. After a while, the old man cast his net again. This time there was a quick response. The speed at which the old man closed the net slammed. I hurriedly went up to help. But the fishing nets are like pulling 1,000 pounds of boulders. The two of us tried our best, but we didn't move. Oh! A fishing net that had been pulled to the limit suddenly broke. Then it was like a chain reaction. one after another. The network cables broke one after another. Hold on to these times. The old man spread his hand instead. He turned around and grabbed me. Hold your shoulders against my chest. Prevent me from being pulled down by something in the water. Meantime, the other hand quickly grabbed a handful of copper coins in his pocket. Sprinkle in water. Copper coins into the water. It's like cooking oil over a blazing fire. The surface of the water boiled instantly. Puffs of fishy gas came out, but this time, the nets are completely untenable. The last few network cables broke at the same time. I had a light hand, caught off guard. He took 2 steps back and fell. The old man obviously didn't prevent this trick either. Throw it forward. We stumbled on the side of the ship together. Good thing it's a hovercraft. Otherwise, the weight of the 2 of us will weigh down. I am going to suffer an old scene in the back. Even so, I also threw myself back into the water. I fluttered several times. The old man reacted, pulled me back. I wiped the water from my face. Is secretly glad to have escaped. Suddenly, saw the old man's face change. The next second, my shoulders sank. A force dragged me directly into the water. In a hurry, I choked on several mouthfuls of water. I haven't reacted to what happened. I felt like my ankle was entangled. The underwater light is dim. I can't see it at all. I just felt something pulling me down, quickly. To save yourself, I started to struggle like crazy. But the thing that dragged me didn't give me a chance at all. He was divided into several parts. They wrapped around my hands and feet. The last part strangled my neck. I suddenly remembered the dream I had last night. My brother was dragged into the water by this thing. Could it be that my end was doomed from then on? The haze of death hit my heart. My eyes grew darker and darker. Suddenly, a jade pendant on the chest. It erupted again with an amazing sensation of heat. I came to my senses. I just saw something like a tentacle fade away from me quickly. That's hair. I don't have time to think about it. By this point, my lungs were about to explode. If you don't go up again, I am afraid I'll really have to explain here. I jerked out of the water. Once again, exposure to fresh air. Suddenly, he breathed greedily. The old man hurriedly stretched out his oars, pulled me onto the kayak. How about it? There is nothing wrong. The old man anxiously groped around with me. It's okay. I pulled the collar with difficulty, revealing the jade pendant inside. Thankfully, he's here. It's okay. It's okay. The old man breathed a sigh of relief. Clutching your chest, sit on the ground with a butt. I said with palpitations that if something happens to you, I really don't know how to explain it to your parents. Grandpa, what is the origin of this jade pendant? I asked curiously. After the accident of my parents in my early years, the old man put jade pendants on me and my brother. I've had paranormal events several times. All rely on this thing to save the day. But every time I asked the calendar, the old man either kept his mouth shut or changed the subject. Take this opportunity. I asked again. This time, the old man was silent for a long time, said that this thing is ancestral. It's called Zhanlongyi. There are 2 pieces, one yin and one yang. Yin jade talisman. Yang yu punishes evil. Our family has eaten this bowl of rice for generations. It has been safe and secure for so many years. This thing can be said to be indispensable. You and your brother have special physiques. It's easy to provoke evil spirits. So, I gave this jade pendant to both of you. That's why I don't want to teach you how to collect corpses. Because tea here is always something in this world. It's the jade pendant that can't protect it. I nodded, reminiscing about childhood. My brother and I watched Uncle Ying's movies. We'll always pester the old man, let him teach us. But every time, the old man decisively refused. When I met him in a bad mood, there will also be a few reprimands. It wasn't until later that I really encountered a supernatural event. Only then did I understand the old man's hard work. The old man sighed. It's a pity that your brother's jade pendant disappeared after falling into the water. Otherwise, yin and yang are one. It is enough to be invincible, and not like it is now. Only when there is danger will he show up to protect him. I stroked the jade pendant on my chest, stunned. I remember that, in my dream, my brother kept pointing to his chest. Could it be that you are talking about jade pendants? The night breeze blows across the water. Bring a chill. Close on the body. It's already soaking wet. I simply took it all off. Asked Grandpa while taking it off. Now what? Rules for recovering corpses. Thunderstorms. Do not fish. The mountains can't afford to fish. The water is immediately wet. Now we have aged 3 times, according to the rules. Or give up, or substitutions. After all, it's about his grandson. The old man hesitated. Or grit your teeth and fish, but the nets are broken. If you fish again, you will be suspected of going into the water. I said to the old man with a grin. Then, I'll do it this time. The old man glared at me angrily. You think I don't know? What did you want to do when you undressed early? Even if I don't agree, I am afraid you are going to go into the water too. I smiled. In the end, you can't hide it from the old man. You still have wounds on your hands. It is really not suitable for launching in the water. I patted my chest and promised. This time I took the jade pendant in my mouth. There are certainly no surprises. But the old man was still not at ease. He brought out a special cinnabar. Talisman was drawn all over my body. I didn't even let go of the soles of my feet. The soft brush tickles me. The old man is not angry. One last stroke on the soles of my feet. I carefully examined it 2 or 3 times. That's when I was relieved to go into the water. I brought the diving tools that my brother had bought. Standing on the side of the ship, he took a few breaths of air. He made an okay gesture to the old man. Jump into the water. I turned on the overhead light. I guess I've already dived. At 20 meters, we finally approached the bottom of the water. At this point, mine was only a meter or 2 away. But there is a thick layer of silt here. The slightest movement can kick up suffocating sediment. This makes it more difficult to search. Fortunately, it didn't take long. I found a broken fishing net at the bottom of the water. It's mostly sunk into the mud. However, it is still possible to tell where it is going. I followed the fishing nets all the way, groping your way forward. I searched for a long time. I didn't see a sign of a corpse at all. It shouldn't be. I scratched my head. Suddenly, I felt a few filaments slip between my fingers. I stiffened, turned around, slowly. I saw a female corpse, staring straight at me. From start to finish, he was always behind me. I frantically backed back. But the female corpse was everywhere. His hair seemed endless, swarming from all directions, surround me. But I soon found out, this strand of hair looks scary. But it never hurt me. Whenever his hair is close to me, the surroundings will melt away like snow and ice. I have a bold guess. Reach out and touch the piece of his hair. Sure enough, it was as blue as a snake and scorpion. I was completely relieved. The 2 hands split their way through the middle of the hair. Dafang swam out. The female corpse on the opposite side was full of resentment. But there is nothing to be done about me. I looked at her fearlessly. Sure enough, it looks exactly like in the photo. What amazes me the most, even if it's been soaked in water for 2 days, there were no changes to her body either. I am afraid I am about to become a corpse. I thought to myself, take out the jade pendant from your mouth. The first time she saw you pay, she retreated frantically. Apparently, he has suffered losses before. I am afraid he'll run away. Hurriedly stretched out his hand and gestured. Finally, put the jade pendant in the palm of your hand. No longer come near him. If he really is my brother's girlfriend, then he must know this jade pendant. The lady looked at the jade pendant with a wary look on her face for a long time. But gradually, his face showed a blank look. I am happy to have a play. But his face remained silent. The lady saw that I didn't move, slowly leaned over. Her eyes were all focused on the jade pendant. It seems to be thinking about something. Then she actually stretched out her hand to touch the jade pendant. But it was like being burned, quickly retracted. The hand. She had completely lost the resentment she had just had, covering his face as if he was crying. I was a little overwhelmed. It's hard to wait for her to finish crying. Or, I'll calm down later. I am really not good at this aspect of girls. Then, I suddenly remembered when I was playing a game with my brother a long time ago. I've created some of my own sign language that belongs exclusively to our brothers. If he really is my sister-in-law, then I clapped my hands. Attract the attention of ladies. Then, he gestured. You can trust me. I'll take you home. Even the moment his tears flowed was carried away by the current. But I can still feel his sadness and joy. He actually understood. This moment, I was completely convinced. He's my sister-in-law. It's my brother's daughter-in-law. I pressed my heart to hold back the excitement. He took out a white cloth from his bosom. Wrap the lady up. Take her home with you. Sure. The village chief's son was as anxious as an ant on a hot pot. You are finally back. Something happened. The old man and I looked at each other. Hurriedly asked. My dad. just called. Said that, in the morning, the woman came again. He hadn't said a word yet. The phone hung up. Let's go back quickly. The three of us carried the lady into the car. All the way. It was supposed to be half an hour away. I rushed back in 10 minutes. Just arrived at the intersection. I heard a lot of noise in the direction of my house. The woman stood in the middle of the courtyard with her waist crossed. Fingers are 360 degrees, without dead ends. Scolding the village sisters-in-law. It can be called a modern version of the Tang War group, Confucianism. The aunts have a lot of weak attack power. The scolded one was defeated with a white face. Generally speaking, scolding. But naturally, you have to start it. But now, no one dares to step forward. Even the husbands of these aunts. We didn't find out until we squeezed in. It turned out to be behind the woman. Standing, stood a tall man. Even if you are 1.8 meters tall. All in front of him. Also bow your head. He was covered in a black cloth, all over his body, including his face. Quietly standing behind the woman. It's very oppressive to look at. The woman saw us come back. Immediately. Sneered. I thought you were dead. What are you doing again? The old man said with a displeased face. Didn't you make it clear this morning? Money was also given. The note was also signed. It's hard to regret it. Of course. I am here to pick up my daughter home. It's hard to do it. You still want my daughter to marry you. The woman said, confidently. I slammed my head. It was really not written on the note. After the girl's body was fished up, whether to hand it over to them. This woman just seized on this loophole, running to make trouble again. If earlier, I might be better off doing more than less. Hand the body to the woman. But since it became clear that Miss is really my sister-in-law, I didn't want to. This woman's attitude towards her daughter is so strange. This morning was also only when I asked for money. Only to show your love for your heart. As soon as the money arrives, immediately change your face. I am afraid to stay 1 second longer. This will show the deep mother-daughter relationship again. If not schizophrenia, that designation is profitable. The old man did not speak. His attention was always behind the woman. He looked at the man in black for a long time, before looking at the woman. Over to you. Let you turn my granddaughter-in-law into a puppet like him. A dignified corpse. Why did you come out of such a ruthless, poisonous woman? This thing is a zombie. I gasped. I recall the scene in the movie where Mo drank blood. In reality, someone really made such a thing. The woman's face darkened. That is, there is no need to talk about it. I don't have to talk about it. The woman gritted her teeth. Then don't blame me. The husband killed them. What a thing. Once again, I was blown away. Even her husband can go down. This woman simply shattered my perception of viciousness. But the zombie didn't give us time to be shocked. The woman gave the order. He sprung into action. It's like a giant black bear. The ground thumped as he stepped on it. All the way to the rampage, just by that terrifying momentum, can make the people standing in front of him dodge. He rushed me and the old man, in 3 or 2 steps. Hit me with a fist. The spell hasn't been wiped yet. I am thinking about following the zombies. Let's see what's going on. The old man was eager to try it when he saw me. Immediately guessed what I was thinking. Kicked me in the ass. By the way, I dodged the zombie attack. Don't die. Stinky boy, your spell can only protect you. I can't do this. I am dumbfounded. In the next second, the zombie verified the old man's words. He quickly turned around after a missed punch. An elbow slammed into my head. I hurriedly stretched out my hand to resist. Then I heard a crunch click. The whole person felt as if he had been hit by a car. Fly backwards and out. The back of the head is in contact with the cold ground. I was stunned by the bang. Both arms were still numb. I felt like I had a broken bone. The zombie didn't want to let me go. He caught up and lifted his foot and stomped on my head. Fortunately, the old man slammed his shoulder into the zombie's waist. The zombie stepped on the wrong foot, rubbing my head and falling to the ground. Splash up a large cloud of dust. If this kick falls on my head, I am afraid I'll die on the spot. I was so scared that I ran to the side. After the zombie is attacked by the old man, the target was immediately shifted. Attack the old man. But the next second, a large rock suddenly slams into the zombie's head. It's the son of the village chief. He carried several stones in his arms, scolding. Another piece of grass and mud was lost, bullying the people of our village. And at this time, the village suddenly sounded big. The horn is the village chief. No wonder the people who haven't seen him just now. It turned out that he had already run to the office. The gentleman of the village, this morning, The mother-in-law of the dog day came to Lao Zhou's house to make trouble again. It's all a village. We can watch them being bullied by outsiders. Many men in the village responded loudly. Back then, my parents saved almost the entire village of young people. These people are still thinking about it. The village chief slammed the table. But their neighbors, with a few people, sneaked up from behind. Take out the fishing nets from my house and trap the zombies. A group of uncles dragged hoes. Some were holding wooden sticks. Say hello to the zombies. But this thing has rough skin and thick flesh. Hitting him doesn't break the defense at all. Zhang Song pointed sharply at the woman next to him. Do this forced to raise first. After saying that, a stone was smashed. The woman didn't expect it at all. Our family's popularity in the village will be so good. He saw that the situation was not good. Turn around and run. But several of the sisters in law had blocked his way. One of them put his hair to the ground. There are a few slaps left. Some of them grabbed the soft flesh. Two of them directly began to pick up his clothes. The woman cursed while yelling in horror. The zombies seemed to sense the danger of their owners. Suddenly, a large number of people ran towards him. The aunts hurriedly dodged. The woman is no longer suppressed. Jump straight up. Hide behind the zombies. I swept over each of us with resentment. I am going to kill you. If you have what it takes, try again. I sneered. The woman turned to look at me. The gaze is gloomy. And you little bastard. Sooner or later, I'll peel you off. She finished her cruel words. Turn around and run. A group of people looked at her like a lost dog, fleeing in embarrassment. They burst out laughing. The old man pulled me and thanked the villagers, one by one. Without them, we don't know what the outcome will be tonight. The folks just bowed down. Hands make us squeak. They went home, one after another. After waiting for the light of the day, the village chief was late. His son's eyebrows fluttered, and he told him what had just happened. Was slapped hard by the village chief. Then, he told the old man about Lao Zhou. It doesn't seem that simple. The old man nodded solemnly and reassured. I'll take care of it. Okay, I am relieved to have your words. The village chief patted the old man on the shoulder. Feel free to let me know if you need anything. The old man was not polite to the village chief. Wait until the two of them are gone. I asked the old man what to do now. The old man slowly said 2 words to summon the spirit. I asked, isn't it just Fushi-san now? There are still 4 days left until the first 7. I can't care about that much. The old man shook his head. The woman would not give up. I even suspect that your brother's deception has something to do with this woman. We've got to get things figured out as soon as possible. I am going to get things ready. You go and bring the girl in first. I was shocked. Nodding his head, he said, yes. Wait until I get back. The old man has already prepared the platform. Begin the conjuring. I was holding a soul banner with the names and characters of the 2 men written on it. Walk to the intersection. Place 2 candles here. Wait for the old man to finish. Began to dance the soul flag. The names of the 2 were still being shouted. Let them go home. Not much. I felt the air around me start to get cold. Wait until the candle is wingless automatically. I hurriedly lit 4 sticks of incense with it. Then he slowly walked inside the house. After inserting the incense on the incense burner, he hurriedly retreated to the side. Meanwhile, the old man threw a handful of paper money. Ignite the yellow talisman with their characters written on it. Throw them in 2 separate bowls. Cover with a gossip mirror. Finally, sprinkle chicken blood on the gossip mirror. The blood slowly dripped down the slit into the bowl. I'll help the old man. Stir the blood and ashes in the bowl. The old man used a different brush. Dotted on the eyes of the 2 paper figures. In the next second, the 2 Homo sapiens actually moved. They blinked. Twisting his head, he began to look around him. Even if you are used to seeing supernatural events, this scene still strikes me. The paper figure with my brother's name on it saw me. He raised his arm and shook his hand at me, despite the stiffness of the movements. But I still feel very familiar. Immediately, shouted with tears in his eyes. I rushed up to give him a hug, but I am afraid that I will pinch him with too much strength. Scratched his head. I turned to look at the other paper figure, shouting, sister-in-law. The paperman hid behind my brother with his head down, nor does he look at us squarely. The old man used a glaze soaked in water, a wipe on my eyes and his, immediately followed by a little sprinkling of water on his ears as well. Then, I was amazed to find out. Those 2 paper figures. It really became my brother and sister-in-law. Let's talk about what the hell is going on. the old man asked. My brother didn't answer immediately. Instead, he asked me a question. Dude, do you remember my high school incident? I was stunned. Of course, I remembered. I was in junior high school at the time, but my brother has already done something earth-shattering. The cause was a girl in his class. When the girl graduated from junior high school, the family forced her to marry. But he was stopped by the village. Since then, her parents never cared about her again. It all depends on a little financial support from the people in the village. For the sake of reading, she is a steamed bun pickle every day. So the whole high school, she was largely malnourished. That's how it came to the third year of high school. The girl had just turned 18 a few days ago. His parents actually found a school, take her away forcibly. It turned out that there was a bachelor in their village, is willing to spend 100,000 yuan to marry her as a wife. His parents saw the money. I said yes at that time. Rush into class while students are still in class. Don't want to take people away. But he's not willing. Was also slapped a few times by her father, pulling his hair and dragging it out. My brother can't stand it anymore. Rushing up with a few classmates gave him a kick. Then one dragged the leg of a stool from the classroom to the school gate. The others didn't dare to chase after it. But my brother was red-eyed. Chased his dad 3 streets. Him a few more sticks. Was stopped by the police. This matter is very much of a fuss with us. It even alarmed the education bureau. I remember that our family lost a little bit of money at that time. My brother circulated criticism throughout the school. But in exchange, the girls were free of board and lodging at school, able to read with peace of mind. In the end, I was admitted to the university of my choice, completely away from the original family. It dawned on me that she was my sister-in-law. My brother nodded. No wonder. I squinted at my brother. No wonder you graduated from high school. For the first time, I had to go to the university in advance for a work-study program. It turned out that it had been planned for a long time. Yes, my brother smiled. 4 years of college. Your sister-in-law and I rely on part-time jobs. I live with the living expenses from my grandfather. Although it was a bit hard, but it's also our happiest time. After graduating from college, your sister-in-law and I have found jobs. Gradually, it stabilized. At this time, one thing must be put on the agenda to get married. Luckily, my brother sighed. Although now, there is no need for a household register to get married. But I want to separate my account. Stay away from them completely. You still need to come to the local area. I didn't expect to just come back. I met your sister-in-law's bottom. She brought a group of fox friends with her, forcibly separated me from your sister. Those days, my contact with your sister-in-law has been intermittent, although she kept telling me not to worry. But I've always had a feeling of uneasiness in my heart. After dropping you off at the station, I couldn't take it anymore. Go directly to your sister-in-law. But I just got to the door. The woman recognized it at a glance. I was the one who beat her husband back then. That's when I found out. Her husband made a big fuss after that incident. It's kind of famous in their area. Some people don't like him. Stabbed him several times. It didn't take long for him to die. The woman locked your sister-in-law in the house. Don't let us meet. And he wants me to take out 500,000 in 10 days. Otherwise, you will sell your sister-in-law to the mountains. Give his son money for the bride price. But I simply can't come up with that much money. I was also forced to do so. I thought about taking your sister-in-law to run away secretly. But I didn't expect to be on the edge of the reservoir. Suddenly, my feet slipped, dragged your sister-in-law into the water. Originally, with my water-based, it's easy to save your sister-in-law. But strangely, my body is out of my control. My brother covered his face in pain. I tugged at your sister-in-law's hand, drowned in the reservoir. So, you, at that time. In fact, it is already dead, I muttered. My brother wiped his eyes, said with a look of resentment. I found out later, it was the woman who drove me away. Quietly, ripped off my hair, managed to control me through his son. It was this tragedy that led to this. And afterwards, in order to hide people's eyes, also, deliberately, controlling my body, disguised as jumping into the river to commit suicide. Then, why did he come to make trouble? And why did he shake out the matter of his daughter? I couldn't help but ask, is it really for 200,000? Then, the girl raised her hand. Timidly said, I really want to know why. After my mom kicked out your brother, just rummaging around the house for ancient books. I had seen some patterns through the cracks in the door. One of them is very similar to your brother's jade pendant. No wonder. The old man sighed and closed his eyes. After a long time, he stroked the girl's hair, said that since you have entered the door of my Zhou family, that's the people of my Zhou family. You have a vendetta tonight. Revenge and resentment. After complaining, he recited the mantra in his mouth. Then, a light touch on my brother and sister-in-law's forehead. My brother and my sister-in-law looked at each other, holding hands, and turning around. I blinked. The paper figure has reverted to its previous dull appearance. They're gone. The old man nodded. He walked up to the stage and said to me, "Give me your jade pendant." I did as I was told. After the old man took over, put the jade pendant on the platform. No more on that. I found a futon and started meditating. I asked, "Don't worry." The old man looked at the sky. Wait. I don't know what the old man is waiting for. I found a chair too. Sit next to him and accompany him. An hour or two passed. The jade pendant on the platform suddenly emitted an astonishing light. The old man immediately stood up. He bit his finger quickly. A few drops of blood were dropped on it. Then he took out a black piece of room paper from his bosom. Wrapped the jade pendant. Then the light on the jade pendant disappeared. The old man breathed a sigh of relief, leaning on the platform and smoking. After a while, my brother and they returned. At this time, the figures of the two were a little vain. It was as if a gust of wind could blow it away. "Is it solved?" I asked, and my brother nodded. He shook his head again. "Ran away with a woman. It's a pity that I frowned. This woman is really cunning." But my brother brought another piece of news. His son died. "Well, how did you die?" My eyes lit up. The woman didn't know what to do. "Cover up your whereabouts." But his son didn't wait. When we found him, he was getting drunk and looking for someone. We listened for a while to find out. It turned out that today, he got 200,000 later. I went to him excitedly to propose marriage. As a result, he received the bride price money. At night, he ran away with one of the blue hairs. Wait for him to get the message. Both have already gotten on the high speed rail. His son rode in a rage. Ghost fire to chase. While passing by a bridge, I tug at the front of his car. He was very fast. There was no time to react. The whole person flew out directly, crashed into a railing on the side of the road. It was cut in two, fell into the water. But even so, he's not dead yet. Your sister-in-law and I are simply driving some fish, slowly gnawing at his flesh. The woman seemed to have cast a spell on his son. He quickly arrived. But by this time, it was too late. When his son catches it, it's been gnawed and can't look like it. The woman was furious, shouting to fight us to the death. My half of Zhenlongju is indeed on him. Your sister-in-law and I can't hurt him. Instead, he was injured several times by his sneak attack. Fortunately, it was at a critical time. Zhenlongyu suddenly lost its effect. The woman was unaware of the injuries for a moment. When he saw that something was wrong, he ran away. I gave the old man a thumbs up. The old man smiled slightly. "Put the jade pendant back on for me." Then, he said to my brother, "The woman didn't dare to show her head for a short time. Now it is imperative to take care of your aftermath. It's also a good time for you to recuperate. The coffin of the granddaughter-in-law will be delivered in the morning. You are now husband and wife. Then the previous location will not be available. Wait until you are ready. Go up to the mountain." After my brother was buried, the old man and I inquired for a long time. The woman seemed to have vanished into thin air. No trace of her was found. My leave has expired. The school instructor's phone calls came one after another. I am almost bursting with calls. I had no choice but to leave and go back to school. When in a high-speed service area, the bus stops for a break, I also took the opportunity to go to the toilet. I just walked in the door. Hit a wall head on. Look up. Exactly that. Zombie. The next second, my head hurt. Fainted. When you wake up again, I've been tied to a post. I looked around. It was found that this was actually an abandoned factory. There is also some household garbage next to it. It seems that this woman has been hiding here all this time. I was thinking to myself. The black-clad zombie walked in with a box. The woman was following him. It's just that this woman's current appearance is very miserable. She had several deep wounds on her face that showed bone. The wound looked like it was poisoned. The left half of his face is completely rotten. The eye is also left with a black hole and a hole in the socket. It looks particularly frightening. Woke up. The woman's voice was indifferent. She grabbed my chin with her hand. I looked left and right for a moment. It's a nice container. What containers? I wondered in my heart. The zombie put the box at my feet. The woman gently stroked mine on the box. You will be resurrected in no time. With that, she opened the box. A strong rancid smell came to my face. My stomach immediately began to churn, but there was still duct tape on his mouth. I didn't spit it out, but this reaction annoyed the woman. She grabbed me by the neck. With the only remaining eye, he stared at me viciously. You still dare to vomit? If it's not you, how could my son become like this? My son's body is ruined. Then, give up your body to him. He grabbed me by the neck with all his might. When I was about to suffocate, he pulled a palm-sized oil lamp out of his pocket. He recited a mantra in his mouth. The wick inside the oil lamp slowly beats. In the end, the oil lamp jumped out, followed his hand, and slowly approached me. Finally, resting on my forehead, I feel the center of my eyebrows. It's like a cut has been made. This thing is frantically squeezing in. This thing wants to take over my body. I shook my head, frantically, trying to shake this thing off, but this sucking once stayed. It's like maggots of the appendages took root and spread on my head. Then, a cold palm suddenly appeared on my forehead. It's my brother, followed by the sister, in-law, and the old man. The old man tore the tape off my mouth. It made my mouth hurt hotly. If only you come a little later. The grass on my grave is 3 meters high. I bared my teeth and grinned. That's all the stinky boy. The old man is untying me. Hearing this, it directly gave me a slap in the back of the head. Who is not afraid of this? I gestured a little unconvinced. Just a little bit. Your second grandson is gone. At this time, the middle-aged woman also reacted. You are fooling me. It's yourself who is stupid. I replied unceremoniously. Knowing that you will take revenge on us, I am also going it alone. Straight hooks are all right. I am afraid it's not that practicing zombies will make my brain stupid. Okay, good woman gritted her teeth and said, I am planted today. You let my son go. The grievances between us are written off. Do you think it's possible? My brother scoffed. He squeezed it lightly with his hand. The flame flickered immediately. A yellow-haired and pained face appeared on it. The woman's eyes turned red, but he didn't dare to make a move. Can only vent all his anger on his sister. In-law, you are a loser. Watching his brother being tortured, he didn't make a move. You should have been drowned in a dung pit in the first place. He scolded a lot of feces. My brother can't take it anymore. Pat it directly with your hands. The small flame was extinguished. My son, the woman, was stunned for 2 seconds. Suddenly, he screamed miserably. He pounced on the cigarette in his hand, but it was completely blown away by the wind he brought. Ah! The woman roared hysterically. I want you to die. Kill them. As soon as the words fell, the zombie slammed into it. The old man and I hurriedly retreated. My brother and my sister. In-law. It was pierced directly through the zombie. This thing has no soul and no soul. The two of them couldn't do him any harm. The old man said, You go deal with the woman. Leave it to us here. My brother and they nodded. He turned and threw himself at the woman. This zombie attacks very quickly, and the body is very hard. I've suffered this kind of loss before. The injury hasn't healed yet. So, at this time, I didn't dare to touch it at all. Can only dodge in embarrassment. Take advantage of the gap between dodging the attack again. Old man, from his pocket, he pulled out 2 rusty iron swords. With this, I took over. The zombie just punched it. I ducked sideways, immediately slashed at him with a sword. The sword really broke through the defense. The blade sank straight into the flesh, cut it on the bone of his arm. The tetanus blade is really awesome. My eyes lit up. I want to strike while the iron is hot, but the zombies didn't give me a chance at all. He grabbed the rusty sword with his other hand. Thrown out with me, I hit my back against the wall. It hurts, and my heart is pumping. But zombies don't give me a respite at all. Another kick came over. I hurriedly rolled on the ground. Dodge the blow. Just at this time, the old man also got behind the zombie. He slashed at the zombie's neck with a sword. It's a pity that the height is not enough. It can only be cut up to the shoulder. And after I stood up, directly stabbed the zombie into the waist with a sword. The intense pain caused the zombies to roar. He slapped the old man away. The other slammed into my chest. Poof! I spat out a mouthful of blood. The body flew 2 or 3 meters in the air. Then, he fell heavily to the ground. At this time, my brother's side also had good news. The woman took advantage of my coma, took away my other half of Zhenlongyi. 2 pieces of jade are combined with 2 into 1. It can suppress the evil in the world. My brother and my sister-in-law couldn't get close to the woman at all. Instead, he will be injured by the spell. He throws. The master is replaced. I shouted at the top of my voice. The old man quickly understood what I meant. Dodge zombie attacks. Join the battlefield on the other side. After my brother was replaced, he asked, "If you don't say anything, you are going to get seriously ill. You are sure you want to do it?" I gritted my teeth and said, "Let's kill this shit first." "Okay." My brother agreed. We clasped our hands tightly. The next second, a cold breath ran down my arm. It quickly stretched to every corner of my body. I felt like I was full of strength. At this point, the zombie smashed into it with another punch. This time, I don't dodge, choose to go toe with him. A dull thud echoed through the empty factory building. Neck and neck. I didn't even take half a step back. My brother smacked in my head. "I am happy," I pouted. "Take a step forward. Grab the hands of zombies. Give him an over the shoulder throw. Then strike while the iron is hot. An iron fist at his head. I don't know what the head of this thing is made of. The hammer goes up and bangs. The shock made my arm tingle. Suddenly, zombies grabbed the gap between my attacks, grabbed my leg, and threw me straight out. I rolled on the ground several times, just stood up. The zombie has punched me in the face. My eyes suddenly flashed with gold stars. Retreat again and again. "Little brother, you can't do it." My brother sucked blood. I gritted my teeth in disbelief. "You can do it. You can do it. I am on it. I am on it." My brother finished. Suddenly, my eyes flashed. Immediately afterwards, I found that my body was out of control. It feels like watching a movie. First person view of the movie. Very exciting. I'll only teach once. My brother moved his body when the zombies pounce. Grab his arm with both hands. Then, a kick in his crotch. My brother strikes while the iron is hot. Roll on the ground. Picked up a steel bar and stabbed it directly into the zombie's ass. Me, I was shocked. I couldn't help but give my brother a thumbs up. "Your tricks are really smooth. Prizes have been awarded." My brother is not ashamed. The backhand is another trick to insert the eye. It's not possible to talk about benevolence, righteousness, and morality with this. Then my brother continued to play all kinds of tricks. Greet the zombies. Rely on your body to be flexible. Just a minute has already poked a dozen holes for him. Even if it is made of iron. Can't stand such a toss. Zombies scratch and bite indiscriminately. Impotent. Rage. My brother jumped at the chance. Leap up. A steel pipe was inserted directly into the zombie's mouth. Pierced out of the belly. Plop zombies fall to their knees. My brother touched the sweat on my head. Slowly walk in front of the zombies. The zombie still wants to get up, but my brother put one hand on the ground. He stroked the zombie's hair. Whispered, "My dear father-in-law, I am here to deliver you free." Then my brother went around the back of the zombies. 1 foot on his back. 2 hands pinched the zombie's head. Pull back hard. The sound of flesh being torn apart continued. My brother actually put the zombie's head, along with the entire spine. The whole spine was pulled out. It was a bloody scene that almost crashed my brain. But the control of my body is not in my hands. I can't even close my eyes and not see. Haha. My brother grabbed the zombie by the hair and lifted his head. The zombie wasn't dead yet. "Open your mouth and bite." My brother immediately lifted him up, shouted at the woman, "Mother-in-law, your husband is dead again." The woman heard the voice and looked this way. Suddenly, I shuddered. Immediately after that, my grandfather slashed a sword. My brother grabbed the zombie's tail vertebrae and shook it. Found a good feel. Hong ran behind the woman with joy. Throw it out as a whip. The woman was caught off guard and slammed. The jade pendant on his chest was exposed. Was caught by the old man. "Don't live." The woman's eyes were horrified. I want to reach out and get the jade pendant back, but the old man didn't give her a chance at all. Tear the rope hard. At the same time, the body retreats. "Over to you." My eyes went dark. Regained control of his body. And my brother has reappeared in the air. standing side by side with my sister. In-law. No. Stay away from me. The woman shouted inwardly. He had no last support. I could only tremble and retreat, seeing my brother and them approaching step by step. Remorse finally appeared in the woman's eyes. She fell to her knees. Prostrations are like pounding garlic. 2 or 3 times on the forehead. Blood had already come out. Her mouth kept pleading. Zhao Di, please, let me go. I swear. I'll be good to you, from now on. I'll give you 3 sticks of incense every day. Pray for you. Finally, my sister, in-law, finally, walked up to her. The woman's body trembled. Raise your head slowly. I saw my sister, in-law, stretch out her hand, gently caressing the wound on her forehead. A smile tugged at the woman's face. But, the next second, the sister, in-law, held out her hand, directly ripped off her face. The woman was stunned for 2 seconds before she reacted, covering his face in pain, crying on the ground. But my sister, in-law, obviously didn't intend to let her go just like that. Instead, he ripped off the woman's flesh and blood again and again. It's like venting for so many years, the humiliation and pain that I have suffered. By the end, the woman was silent. She didn't have a single trace of good flesh on her body, can only crawl on the ground. A few twitches, from time to time, prove that she is alive. My brother sighed. Capture the soul of this woman. Scattered her soul. It's over. I threw myself on the ground, with a thud. Weakness all over the body. Sore and painful. This is the after effect of being possessed. I clutched my chest. I thought that my stomach was still churning. I couldn't hold back. Spat out a large puddle of black water. The smell is unpleasant. The old man patted me. Back, comfort and vomit. Just spit it out. Wait until I am completely vomited. My brother winked and handed me a few pieces of paper. Not good, young man. Shut up. I glanced at him, angrily. If it weren't for you, where did so many things come from? The old man touched my head. From the pocket. Take out the piece of Zhenlong jade that has long been merged into one. Placed it in the palm of my hand. I looked at the jade pendant for a long time. I told the old man about my grandfather, very seriously. I want to learn how to dig up corpses. The old man was silent for a few seconds. Suddenly, he opened his eyebrows and smiled. I teach you. End of full text. Peace and joy be upon you. Happy every day.